So I was reading this post, and the post stated that nearly half a million of Americans over the age of 80 are still working to meet ends meet. Think about that for a second. Nearly half a million of Americans over the age of 80 are still working to meet ends meet. This is why we talk so much about investing. This is why we talk so much about owning assets, right? Because realistically, if you think about it, retirement is not an age thing. It's just a number that you are comfortable living on. When I say a number, I'm talking about owning assets that produce some kind of cash flow. And the cash flow from those assets is enough to cover your living expense, right? But it's kind of mind blowing to think about someone who is 80 years old and still have to work because they have to, not because they want to. That's why if you're in your 30s, 40s, if you're in your 20s, bro, this is the right time to start investing. Take advantage of compound interest. The earlier you can start, the sooner you can start, the faster and easier it will be to reach that milestone that you want to actually retire in a good condition, right? One of my greatest fear in life is being able to look back and say, man, I wish I would have done this or that. And I definitely don't want to be 80 and still have to work. That's crazy. It's just mind blowing to think that nearly of a half a million of Americans still have to work. Those who are actually 80 years old. Listen, invest right now while you still have the time. Buy assets that produce some kind of income, some kind of cash flow. The whole goal here is to get cash flow. Like that's literally the whole goal. Get money. It. I don't care how you get your money. It could be a job, side hustle, whatever you do to get money. Get money, buy income. Get money, buy income. What are income? And for me, cash flow is if you get money, you buy an asset that produces some kind of cash flow. Whether this is gonna be a real estate property that you rent out to tenants, whether this is gonna be stocks that pay dividend, whether this is gonna be a business that's actually profitable, whether this is gonna be a business that's actually cash flowing positively every single month. But the whole idea is to get money. You buy assets. Because if you don't buy assets, you're gonna work for the rest of your life. That's the, listen. Me personally, I feel as if when it comes to working hard physically, I'm just not there, right? That's one of those areas that I just don't like physical labor. I often prefer mental labor where I'm being challenged mentally or I'm working mentally. Anything that has to do with physical labor other than being in the gym, I don't want it. I'm like, I can't not work in the Amazon warehouse. I can't do that. I just can't. But what I can do is use my strength. See, I understand my strength and my weaknesses. I prefer to use my mind more than I use my body. That's just it. My strength is in my mind. So you also have to understand your strength and focus on that. We all have our own strength and weaknesses. But you have to use your strength, whether that is your mind, your body, whatever it is. Just go out there and make money. If you can make money, use that money to then buy cash flow, buy assets that produce cash flow. That's literally the whole goal here, man. The whole goal is to buy income, buy assets that produce cash flow. Because if you don't buy assets, you're gonna work for the rest of your life. And also, something that I've started really thinking about lately is living abroad. Right? You're in America. You have all of your assets here. If you're producing, let's say you're making $10,000 a month, like passively from your assets. You don't have to work. Just money comes in based on the assets that you have here. Bro, just live abroad. It's something that I've been very very considering. Whether that is Mali, uh, whether that is Bali, Vietnam, Vietnamese, Philippines. Living abroad has been something that I really, really consider. But man, That's just crazy. But buy assets, man. That's all you need. Just buy assets. Get money, buy assets. Get money, buy assets, and live a conservative life. And live a conservative life. A lot of people want to show off these days. Like you make money now, you want to buy things that are not really making you money, but you do want to show out. You want to show people that you have money. In reality, you really don't have money. That's one thing I don't understand. I don't understand people who just they just want to show out. They just want to show They just want to pretend that they have money, but in reality, they don't have money. Right? Like I don't get that. If you don't have that much money in your bank account, that's all that matter. No one cares about what you do, like what you wear, what you dress. I mean, they do, but yeah.